My name is Jayron. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Pittsburgh, PA, but you can say I'm from Harrisburg. I moved to Harrisburg when I was about 10 years old. My first impression in Harrisburg was where am I? Why am I here? Life growing up as a kid was very, very hard but easy. I had to raise my older brother by 1 year. I had to grow up and I had to become responsible at a young age just because my brother was mentally retarded. And I had to take care of him and actually show him the right way while being a kid at the same time. So really being a kid wasn't even being a kid. I didn't have a kid life. Middle school life is a blur. I cannot really picture middle school. I was a kid. Middle school was easy. I just went to school, came home, was on the track team. Wasn't a bad kid until I hit high school. My freshman year, I wilded out. Sophomore year was just a regular, normal year, settling in. Junior year was nothing about tests and college and SATs. And then senior year, I was on probation my whole senior life because I had too much fun. Senior year, I would come as I pleased. I was really working while I wasn't in school, and if I wasn't working, I was asleep. I was lazy. I felt as if I didn't need to be there every day because I was there 3 years full time. Like, I was tired of that school. Towards the end, our school got robbed, and I was one of the first students to know about it, and I was basically picked on. All the fingers were pointed on me because I knew such information that no one else knew. Because my uncle was a custodian for the Central Dauphin School District, and I was the first one to know that our school got robbed. In the end, I wasn't the person who robbed that school, and the principal felt stupid. I graduated from Central Dauphin East High. It was pretty much the diverse school. A whole bunch of people went there. A whole bunch of people were accepted, but there was always that one group that were bullies. You can't run away from life in that. But either way, there was a whole bunch of good people that came from East High. I made the Hall of Fame. I trained with a silver medalist in the Beijing Olympics, Elias Fountain. My whole high school career, I was on the track team from 8th grade to 12th grade. I ran track as a freshman in 8th grade. I transitioned. That's something I'm really proud of. Throughout my whole high school career, I made it to districts and mid-pens. Senior year was a hard year because in my second heat, I sprained my ankle over the 5th hurdle. Ever since then, I haven't ran track. Life after graduation was kind of rough, maintaining a minimum wage job, trying to pay for bills. I realized after graduating high school that I needed to further my education, and that's when I moved to Pittsburgh to pursue my medical experience. I moved back to Pittsburgh 2 years after graduating high school to pursue my medical experience, becoming a nurse. I moved back because it was my hometown and I wanted to see what it was like after growing into an adult. Seeing that things change or that the things were the same. My life has gone in the right direction. I have a full-time job as a traveling PCA and CNA. In the fall, I'm going to school to get my RN. In 2 years, hopefully I'll be a DON. Pittsburgh has blessed me in many ways. I don't think I would have as much as blessings if I had living in Harrisburg compared to living in Pittsburgh now. The city life is different. There's more opportunities in Pittsburgh, there's less opportunities in Harrisburg. The thing I don't like about Pittsburgh is the racism. I find it as that's the biggest problem in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of the racist cities that I've ever been to. Harrisburg is more open and, welcoming, but coming to Pittsburgh, there's a whole bunch of races out here, and it's sad. Because if you're a minority, you're looked at as if you're just a nobody, and that's not how it should be. There is a whole bunch of African Americans and a whole bunch of foreign people moving to Pittsburgh, and it was like that in Harrisburg at once, but I find it as everybody migrating to Pittsburgh because there's more opportunities out here, and we're taking all the jobs, and we get looked at as if we don't belong here, and it's not right. We get looked at like we're supposed to be working a minimum wage job. There's times when I'm on the bus and people look at me just because I'm in scrubs, like I don't belong in these scrubs. It ain't right. Harrisburg's reputation is nothing but gun violence, people trying to be people that they're not on a regular, people who walk around with crooked smiles, they act like everything's okay, but yet they're screaming for help. Harrisburg is just a place that I wouldn't recommend anyone to live. Harrisburg is the capital of Pennsylvania, but no one would know because Harrisburg gets no attention. There's nothing but negativity coming from Harrisburg. There's not one positive story I hear on the news about Harrisburg. It's always somebody dead, or somebody in a homicide, or somebody committing suicide, or something that had to do with the government, people abusing the welfare system. Harrisburg is just a corrupt city. One of the major incidents that impacted my life was losing one of my close friends, Tasia, from her father. He shot her. Well, at first, I wouldn't say he shot her. He was going for the mom, but she was strong enough to stand in front of the bullet and take that shot. And then he shot himself. And that was around November, so that was like a family holiday, you know what I mean? That's when everybody comes together. And then going back to school, seeing everybody sad was hard because not only did it impact the family's life, it impacted her friend's life, her teacher's life, because these are people she grew up with, you know? So I don't think it impacted my life. I think it impacted the whole class of 2013 because she was supposed to graduate with us. And it sucks to see a life taken so young. She was 16. Me and my mom moved out of that neighborhood because it was nothing but bad things were happening to kids. Like, they always say they die in threes, and it was true. First, my friend Delaney hung herself. Then 3 months later, Tasia was killed. Then 3 months later, Daquan was hit by a car. All in the same area, you know? It was hard. Like, we had to get out of that area, and that's when we moved up in Hummelstown. And from then on, I moved to Pittsburgh because I just had to get away. Being out there on my own was hard. There was a whole bunch of times when I just wanted to give up. And there was a party that I had thrown for my 18th birthday. I was in a relationship. And I felt as if I didn't have no care. Like, nobody loved me. Nobody cared for me. Because here I am out on my own. Without a mom, without a father. Because my father's been in jail my whole life. My sisters, they have their own life. They have their own family. So it's just like I didn't have nobody to run to but myself. There was a time where I just wanted to end the plug. And then I swallowed a whole bunch of pills just because I thought that was the way out. But me sleeping for 4 hours, it felt like I was gone forever, to be honest. But when I woke up and I was in the hospital bed, I looked up and I was just talking to my godmom, the one who took me in, and she was just like, you know, you swallowed a whole bunch of pills, why? And I was just like, don't even wake me up. Because that was the time when I just didn't feel anything. I didn't have to worry about reality. I didn't have to worry about bills. I didn't have to worry about where I'm going to lay my head at. But growing up now, day by day, as I think, like, I had all that with my mom, you know what I mean? She made sure I was taken care of. I just wanted to grow up too fast, and that's where I messed up. But I'd say ever since I've been out here on my own, it's been hard. It took me about 2 years to realize everything my mom was telling me was for protection. She wanted to keep me off the streets. She didn't want me to live this lifestyle I was living for 2 years. When I turned 19, I moved back with my mom. Got a nice full-time job at Walmart. It wasn't nothing, but I was getting paid a good $10 an hour. That's a big come up from $7.25 at Subway. Then working at a warehouse at night, getting paid $9.25. I got a steady $10 an hour check. And that didn't even last because after that, I just wanted to get up and move to Pittsburgh and further my education and become a nurse. So with everything that I've been through, I say that I am strong and I've learned a lot. And I'm just thankful that I'm here now, because I don't know where I'd be, to be honest, with everything that I've been through. I think God only puts you through so many things to make you stronger and realize that life, you can only live it once, you know what I mean? You shouldn't live life with regrets. But I thank God that I'm still here to be able to tell my story and to grow from my mistakes, because I've come a long way, and I'm actually proud of myself.